Cosmo the space puppy sat in his captain's chair, ready for a new day. He loved zooming past the moon and visiting distant suns in his shiny rocket. Today, his dashboard made a happy pinging sound. A bright light flashed on his navigation screen. "Woof woof!" Cosmo barked with excitement. He looked closely at the monitor. It showed a new location he had never seen before. The label read, Planet Jellybean. Cosmo's ears perked up high. He wondered if the planet tasted like treats. He grabbed the steering wheel with his paws. The rocket ship zoomed fast through the deep, dark sky. Cosmo flew past giant purple clouds and bright orange rings. He saw comets flying by like glowing balls of ice. Finally, a round, colorful world appeared in the window. It looked pink, green, and yellow all at once. Cosmo steered the ship down carefully. The landing gear touched the ground with a soft bounce. It did not go clank like usual. It sounded like a rubber ball hitting a pillow. Cosmo unbuckled his seatbelt and put on his helmet, ready to explore. Cosmo opened the hatch and jumped out. His boots sank into the ground, which felt squishy and soft. Yum! Cosmo sniffed the air. It smelled like sugar and fruit. He looked around in amazement. The trees had trunks made of licorice and leaves that looked like gumdrops. The bushes were piles of green jelly beans. Even the rocks were hard candies. He took a step and bounced high into the air. The gravity here was bouncy and fun. Cosmo had never seen such a delicious place in the entire galaxy. His tail wagged fast. Suddenly, Cosmo heard a rustling sound near a peppermint bush. 3 round creatures hopped out to meet him. They did not walk, they bounced like rubber balls. One was red, one was yellow, and one was blue. "Hello," said the red one. "I am Cherry." The yellow one smiled and said, "I am Lemon." The blue one waved and said, "I am Blueberry. Welcome to our home, space puppy." Cosmo was happy to meet new friends who were so sweet and colorful. He barked a friendly hello and shook their hands. "Do you want to play?" asked Lemon. Cosmo barked a big yes. They took him to a field made of giant marshmallows. Cosmo jumped and flew high into the air. It was like a trampoline park. Next, they visited a river. The water was not water at all. It was colorful juice flowing down a candy slope. Cosmo slid down the slippery slide on his tummy. "Whee!" he howled. The juice splashed safely against his spacesuit. It was the most fun he had ever had on a Tuesday. After playing, Cosmo looked at a huge tree in the center of the village. It was supposed to be a rainbow tree, but the colors looked dull. The red was turning gray, and the blue looked pale. The leaves were drooping low. Cosmo stopped playing. He felt worried. "Why does that big tree look so sad?" Cosmo asked his new friends. Cherry, Lemon, and Blueberry stopped bouncing. Their happy faces turned into frowns. The air felt quiet and heavy, not light and fun anymore. Something was definitely wrong. Cherry looked at the ground. "That is our rainbow tree," she explained with a sigh. "It needs loud laughter to stay bright and colorful, but we have been very busy and forgot to be silly. Now our Giggle Spring has dried up completely." She pointed to a hole in the ground that was empty. Without the magical giggles from the spring, the tree loses its color. We tried to laugh, but we are too worried now. Cosmo knew he had to help his sticky, sweet friends immediately. He needed a plan. Cosmo thought hard. He knew exactly how to fix this problem. He was a puppy, and puppies are experts at being silly. He stood on his back paws and started to dance. He chased his own tail, spinning around in circles until he got dizzy and flopped over. Then, he made a funny face by sticking out his tongue and crossing his eyes. He rolled onto his back and kicked his legs in the air. He looked ridiculous in his shiny spacesuit. He barked a funny song, "Arf arfaroo." Blueberry let out a small snort. Then Lemon started to chuckle. Cherry burst into a loud laugh. Soon all the jellybean creatures were laughing so hard they shook. Their laughter floated up into the air like invisible bubbles. Suddenly, a bubbling sound came from the ground. The Giggle Spring erupted with glowing, happy water. The magic flowed to the rainbow tree. In a flash, the gray branches turned bright red, orange, yellow, green, and purple. The colors were brighter than ever before. Cosmo yipped with pure joy. "You saved us!" shouted the friends. They gave Cosmo a big hug. Cherry handed him a glass jar. "This is a bottomless jar of rainbow jelly beans," she said. "It will never run out." Cosmo thanked them and climbed back into his rocket. He waved goodbye as his engine started to hum. As he blasted off into the cosmos, Cosmo munched on a red jelly bean. He learned that laughter is a powerful magic that can brighten any world. He could not wait for his next great trip.